These people are trying to escape the city of el-Fasher in Sudan's North Darfur state after the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces took control of the city. The sound of gunfire near them signals the RSF is not far behind. This mobile footage, verified by Al Jazeera's fact-checking unit, shows RSF fighters standing over bodies of people who seem to have tried to cross the barricade the group set up while it laid siege to the city for 17 months. The RSF denies the authenticity of the videos and says they're fabricated. But el-Fasher's resistance committee says many of the estimated 250,000 people who were in el-Fasher have been killed. The RSF emerged from what was known as the Janjaweed, a government-allied militia that fought rebel groups in Darfur when conflict erupted there in 2003.
We have seen them commit genocides of this scale and against the same group of people for the past 20 years with varying levels of intensity. So this was very much a certainty what we're seeing today, and no one lifted a finger to stop it.
It's also accused of sexual violence, forced displacement, and extrajudicial killings in areas it controlled during the first 2 years of the war, before being pushed out by the army to Darfur in the west and Kordofan in the south. It's since stepped up its offensives in Darfur and Kordofan, and monitors say that's happened with increased help from the United Arab Emirates, which has been accused of supporting the RSF. The RSF's latest offensives coincide with reports of negotiations in the US to reach a ceasefire, which could allow each side to maintain their areas of control. The talks were meant to bridge the gap between the army and the RSF, but the RSF seems determined to gain as much territory as possible before reaching any deal with its rival. Hiba, Al Jazeera.
Well, new images have emerged that show the potential scale of the violence in el-Fasher. Yale University's Humanitarian Research Lab has analysed these satellite images of the city taken on Monday after the RSF moved in. In multiple locations, they say, there are large clusters of objects which are consistent with the size of human bodies and technical vehicles. There are also large areas of red discoloration on the ground nearby. These patches of red, what could be pools of blood, were not seen in images taken before the RSF's advance. And more clusters of objects consistent with the size of human bodies have been captured outside of el-Fasher. There have been reports that civilians were shot while trying to flee the city. Nathaniel Raymond is the Executive Director of the Humanitarian Research Lab at Yale School of Public Health, and he joins us now from New Haven. Nathaniel, first of all, we've just gone through those images. Ultimately, what are your conclusions?
Our conclusions are simple. Since the Rapid Support Forces took control of el-Fasher now just over 48 hours ago, we have seen a campaign of house-to-house clearance operations and what appears to be clear evidence of mass killings visible in satellite imagery that corroborates videos from the ground. In short, what we are seeing is ethnic cleansing.
Can you give us a sense of the scale of this, though?
I've been doing this work with satellites for 15 years, and I've been a war crimes investigator for over a quarter of a century. I have not seen the velocity and ferocity of the violence that we're witnessing in the past day and a half in any other setting I've investigated in my entire career. The scale is immense, from the earthen berm, the wall that now surrounds el-Fasher, to specific neighborhoods such as Darajula, to hospitals and humanitarian facilities. We are seeing objects that measure between 1.5 to 2 meters, which is the standard length of a human body lying horizontal, as seen in satellite imagery at high resolution. Those objects were not there 36 to 48 hours ago. They now litter the city.
Now, when you look at these pictures and you see perhaps some of the troops there, the RSF forces, one's got to also then start thinking, well, where are they getting the wherewithal to do this?
Well, where they're getting the wherewithal to do this is the same place that they got the wherewithal to do it in El Geneina, to do it in Zamzam, to do it in Serba, to do it in Armada. We have 2.5 years of evidence of Rapid Support Forces commitment to attacking 4 Masali, Zagawa, and Berti people across the regions of Darfur. We have ground photos, and we have, in this case, their own videos celebrating their killings.
You must be concerned that other parts of the country will suffer the same fate.
Yes, and I think what is important to understand here is that this campaign of mass killing we're seeing now in el-Fasher has been warned about in excruciating detail by both the Humanitarian Research Lab and many other colleague organizations, especially the response community, the local response community in Darfur, for months. None of this is surprising, and it's also a preview for what may happen in the Kordofans at El Obeid, Dillinge, and Kadugli that could come under siege any time now as rapid support forces move to the east with the fall of el-Fasher.
So what about the Sudanese army itself? It's certainly, to say it's on the back foot would be understatement of the year.
That's correct. We know that we have reports recently in the past few hours, and this is some new news for your viewers, that the Sudan Armed Forces appears, what was left of the Sudan Armed Forces 6th Division in el-Fasher appears to have retreated west towards Tawila and into Jebel Mara. This is a really important and potentially worrying development because many of those who have fled Zamzam and el-Fasher have gone to Tawila. And there is a chance with SAF forces now to the west that rapid support forces may chase them.
So that, of course, that begs the question, what should the international community be doing?
Just today, the Wall Street Journal reported that U.S. intelligence documents show conclusive proof of an escalating pipeline of weapons from the United Arab Emirates, including advanced drone technology, to the rapid support forces. Based on the U.S. government documents viewed by the Wall Street Journal, it's now clear that the main backer who has given the rapid support forces the technical and logistical means to win this fight in el-Fasher has been the United Arab Emirates. And it's also clear that the absence of pressure by the United Kingdom, the United States, and other governments on UAE is allowing the killing we see in el-Fasher from space to continue.
Nathaniel Raymond, thank you so much, the Executive Director of the Humanitarian Research Lab at Yale School of Public Health. Thank you.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insights. Like, share, stay ahead.